So the first question is from actually_just_will. Thank you for the question. How will you grow the agency and retain the best officers?
Okay. Very good. The one thing that we need to focus on is the retention. The retention is something that every department is having to deal with that because police officers want to retire. I think the next sheriff is going to play a very important role in some people, whether they leave or they stay. I really want to work hard to win them over so they could stay because I believe that institutional knowledge is very important. These officers that have been there for many years, man, they may not work as hard, but they have that institutional knowledge. They know how to deal with people. They know how to get the job done, and that I understand. Hiring process is something that a lot of departments are having to deal with. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to reach out to the military, okay? There's a lot of people that are coming out of the military that will have a great opportunity to serve this department. I also want to start an auxiliary program where a lot of people who want to give back to their community. The Florida Highway Patrol has an incredible auxiliary program, people that do give a lot of hours and they do help us out. And we could emphasize on that. But recruiting people is something that we're going to focus on. And you know what? One thing that I am going to change, and I think that the county right now, they have civilians that hire police officers. I'm going to change that. I think police officers should be hiring police officers for the simple reason that police officers know what it takes. They know. They've been,
Yeah.
Some departments are hiring people that at the end of the day you end up losing because you hire them and they don't last, or you hire them and then they're 6 months, 7 months, and they go to another department.
Yeah.
So on retention side, look, if you're happy, my dad always said, look, find a job that you enjoy doing and you'll never have a bad day in your life. You'll be happy.
Right.
And I've done that. I've been with the Florida Highway Patrol, and I've enjoyed it. And there's been days that I didn't want to go to work, but very few days.
All right.
So that's something that we need to do on. But once again, focusing on the military, college. There's a lot of kids that are paying themselves through the academy. Those may have an opportunity to come on board. And once again, it's about that process because it's a long process. We need to hire the right people to be law enforcement. Not everybody's a police officer. Not everybody can be a police officer. We know that. It takes a special quality of individual to serve our community and do it professionally, ethically, and be proud of our brand.
Like it.
Okay.
What we got the next one?
So
sorry, I turned yours pink.
It's okay. I'm cool with pink.
Well,
I'm
Easter pass not
I'm
too
on the
late.
That's
cool.
got to be a soft question.
And that's the hot seat. This is the cool seat over here. So it's all good. Yeah. So this next question is from VF_Camacho, and he asks, "What is your view on law enforcement enforcing immigration laws or serving as immigration officers?"
Look, the next sheriff of Miami-Dade County is going to have to obey federal, state, and all the laws, okay? We have a responsibility. That responsibility is you took an oath of office, you would follow the Constitution, state laws, federal laws, all the laws. But I could tell you one thing. We in Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office will not have the resources to be asking people for documents, knocking on people's doors, and enforcing those laws. Now, if we do make an arrest and you're arrested for a criminal violation and you have a deportation order, then we will turn you over to the authorities. We have to do that.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that we have many more responsibilities, and I think that's up to the federal government to deal with the situation. I am a big stickler that law enforcement needs to stay within its lane. Federal agencies have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. Now, we could work on some of these things like drugs and the epidemic that we face nowadays. I mean, it's incredible. That's the perfect example. We could have talked about that because I think, people don't realize that we're losing a commercial plane full of people every year in Dade County in drug overdoses. So, my message is going to be very clear to the drug dealers. We're putting you out of business, pal. I'm going to put together the toughest tactical drug unit, not only to go to street level, after you're in street level, distribution cell, but we're going after the top tier dealers in this community. And my message to you is we're going to put a team together that's going to work together, prosecute you to the fullest. We're going to put you out of business.
Boom.
Okay.
Going out of business sale. I don't know about that, bro.
So follow
Well,
it.
we're going to work hard at it,
No,
okay?
no,
and
I
we
agree.
could do it because
And-
right now I can tell you it's sad. You know, I know 2 people who've lost their kids to fentanyl. Horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, and it destroys life. It destroys family. It scars families for life. And you know what? You want to talk about something that's really that hasn't been talked about? Look, we have to get ready for a variety of things. And one is what we're going to be dealing with in the next couple of months to a year, and that's that open border. Okay, that open border is not an immigration crisis anymore. All right, it's a national crisis.
Yep.
It's a drug crisis. It's a law enforcement crisis. And if you don't believe me, go to these other states and see what's happening in their states. They're answering more calls. They're dealing more with situations of immigrants. Now, I'm not against immigrant. I'm an immigrant myself. You know, you want to come into this country, come in through an entry point and do it right. And if you come through there and you're granted to come in this country, a lot of people that want to come to this country want to accomplish the American dream, just like my parents did. But my friend, let me tell you something. They're putting drugs through that border. There are people that are coming into this country not for the American dream, to destroy the American dream. And law enforcement must be ready and must be prepared to meet those challenges because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question is from Steven_Anthony_. And he asks, why did you get into law enforcement and what advice do you have for a new person? I guess he means a new officer.
I needed a job.
That's a good reason.
How
I needed
old
a-
were you when you started, by the way?
21. I needed a job that paid me $18,000 a year. No, listen, I came into law enforcement because I'll tell you, I had an incredible experience. I remember we went to Disney and we're coming back. We had just gotten here from Cuba. I think my dad saved enough money to take me and my brother to Disney. We're coming back from Disney, and we get stopped by a trooper. My dad's driving. I was 6 years old. And the trooper, walks up to the car, and, my dad didn't speak a word of English, and he didn't speak a word of Spanish. But I'm in the back seat, and my dad goes, "Oye, mira lo que quiere policía." See what he wants. So I translate. And the guy accepted that. He was like, okay. So I translate, speeding, da, 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 da. I don't remember if he gave him a ticket or a warning. But it was that professional experience, that how the officer treated my dad, how he treated me. Because I was a little fearful,
Yeah.
I'm 6 years old, my dad being stopped for speeding. So it was that interaction of professionalism that when I decided to go into law enforcement, I applied with the Florida Highway Patrol because I wanted to be a state trooper. But look, as a kid, I thank God I never got in trouble. There were opportunities I could have got in trouble.
Everybody.
But, I made it through. And that's why I'm a big believer that, in today's society, we have to focus on not only tactical, but we also have to focus on preventing crime, de-escalation, and we need to focus on giving these kids an opportunity. Sometimes these kids are going to make a mistake. And, police officers should be role model, not drug dealers, okay? And I'd rather educate a child than incarcerate a child.
And remember, and the second half of that question is, what advice do you have for a new officer? Go ahead.
Look, if you're coming into law enforcement, it's a profession that's going to require dedication. It's a profession that's going to take time away from your family. All right, I've been through a divorce. I think just about every cop, a lot of cops go through divorce because, look, there are going to be times that you're not going to be there for Christmas. There's going to be times you're not going to be there for Thanksgiving. There's going to be times that you may not be there for your child's birthday, okay? My advice to them is to take their family serious. All right, when you get home, disconnect yourself from law enforcement. Find a hobby, whether you like to play golf, fish, because I think that my career in law enforcement and in politics and what I've done, I think that what has allowed me to have, I'm going to be 59 years old and have a sane mind, has been that I have been able to disconnect myself from situations that require a lot of stress. And believe me, when I was a city commissioner in the city of Miami, there were a lot of stressful situations.
Yeah.
Even the Florida Highway Patrol, there were stressful situations. I've been in situations that I thank the good Lord that I'm alive. I mean, I put my patrol car through a building in a chase in Miami, and I got taken to the trauma center, and they saved me at the trauma center because the trauma center saves lives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take it from me.
Shout out.
Take
Shout
it
out to
from
them.
me. I mean, we used to go there when we used to work accidents, and they had the best surgeons from all over the forces
Yep.
operating there. So if it's a profession that you heart's in it, you're there to serve. You're there to treat people with respect. You're there to do what you need to do, and you need to go home, disconnect, and enjoy your
Take
family.
take off that police hat when you
Yeah,
get home
absolutely,
and
man.
put
You
on
can't be a
that
cop.
family
Yeah,
hat.
You,
like
you can't be a cop 24 hours a day. You can't.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that leads me into this question from. Did you read the name of that one, by the way?
Yeah, Steven _ Anthony _
Loyal Massey. Shout out to Loyal Massey. Thank you for the question. They want to know, how mean are the officers on the highway patrol?
Man, we're not mean. Why are we mean? Because we do more traffic stop than any other agency, and we interact with more people. And I'm a big believer that everything starts with a traffic stop. Let me tell you, my advice to you: everything starts with a traffic stop as long as you treat that person with respect and dignity. And I've done that. I've always, everybody that I stopped, and I believe me, I made plenty of traffic stops. I've always treated people like I was stopping my mother with respect. Now, there were people that, push those buttons and they're disrespectful. But at the end of the day, you have discretion to give a warning or a ticket. And then you use that discretion however way you want it.